There's absolutely no reason why we, as proud Europeans, shouldn't unite, bring object storage as a technology stack in our data centers, and really serve our customers locally, because that's what they want. They want to speak to you, or to you, because they know you and they trust you. Hi everyone, how are you feeling? Hangovers? Okay, right. So my time counter is already running, so warm welcome, thank you for being here. My name is Patricia, and I'm looking forward to spending the next 10 minutes with you. Usually we would run a very formal corporate presentation about who RNT is, what we do, but not today. So let's quickly dive, in the interest of time, into the topic, which is about who wants AI. I think we all want it because it's a great technology, but then there's a kind of a flip side of the coin, because you cannot continue with your storage infrastructure as you used to in the past. So let me start. I brought two maybe a bit bold statements for you. So I do strongly believe that AI will fundamentally impact the way organizations perceive and utilize storage systems. Storage today in our digital world is far more than just performance and capacity. But, there's always a but, who dares to change a running system? And no doubt, I mean, AI is a very disruptive technology which will accelerate necessary changes in the storage industry. So, good for us, but it's really that AI introduces new ways of thinking about the tasks and how we perform them, and how businesses can leverage data to drive business success. And that also implies, of course, storage, and can no longer be reduced to just performance and capacities. And let's be honest, block and file, as well as the monolithic storage infrastructures of the past, have done a great job so far, and they still have a play in the game, no doubt about it. But it's still a legacy technology, and which has never been designed for a modern digital world. So it's not, for all use cases, very well suited to process and manage data, especially when we look at the data growth, the data explosion, where you have huge amounts of unstructured data. So at the end of the day, both structured and unstructured data. So, and this is, of course, referring to AI workloads, but it's not only limited to AI workloads. So what can you then do? So unfortunately, storage is the inevitable foundation of every data center. Yeah, it's like a house. And when you need to do some renovation work, yeah, it is costly, it is a hassle to replace windows or redo the roof, but would you ever touch the foundation? Heck no, of course not. However, what you have to do is think how you can implement those new technologies in your data center. And you've got two options, actually. So you can either say, rip and replace, and that is never a good idea. So keep your legacy infrastructure that secures your bread and butter business. Absolutely. But guaranteed, nothing really stops you from adding a modern stack to your existing infrastructure. Because if you don't, let's also be very honest, you will run into a competitive disadvantage if you're not already into this. Simply because you cannot offer the services that are made for a modern digital world, and simply because you cannot offer the services your customers want from you. Because let's be honest, as service providers, you do far more than just selling a certain product. You are the trusted advisors. Your customer maybe started the business with you by buying storage as a service or hosting a website. But now they come to you and more or less want the full end-to-end service portfolio because they trust you and they love you. My next statement is that I truly believe, and I love this technology, that object storage is the way forward for sure, AI, ML workloads, but also for cutting-edge data management and security. And yes, it is a stable and modern technology designed for a modern digital world, although it was originally invented by the big bookstore. However, based on conversations here at MSP Global last year, any other events and shows we go to, object storage is still quite a newbie to many IT decision makers. And that is something I'm completely flabbergasted about, and I can hardly believe it, because, as I said, it's a technology that exists for 20 years, and it brings all the values to our digital world we need. So why are you guys, or a lot of you, not saying everyone, so data center operators, service providers, why are you so hesitant, or still so hesitant, to implement that technology? So, and again, secondly, there's a good chance for you, because our industry lost a little bit of innovation to the bookstore and other hyperscalers, win the customers back from them. Why not? Object storage in general is no longer just a cheap and scalable solution. It is absolutely made for performance. It hardly has any limits from a performance perspective. So anything we heard about AI workloads, etc., object storage is just the perfect technology. So, and when you look at leaders from data-hungry industries like automotive, what else? Climatology, urban infrastructure analytics, or medical imaging. They are using it for a very good reason for quite a long time. They have made it a very essential cornerstone of their tech stack, and they even use it across different storage classes, because cost is important. So the more data you have, you really have to find the point where you need to free up your expensive primary or secondary storage, and then move data to an archive tier or an even lower cost storage tier. And that is all possible. So in the interest of time, let me just highlight 3 kind of big advantages of object storage. So number 1, for sure, security. Object lock, at the moment, still is, otherwise tell me that I'm wrong, the best in class in terms of security you can find in the entire industry. Number 2, object storage gives you fast and secure access using HTTPS, and that works from anywhere, at any time, and from any device. It doesn't really matter. So, and then, of course, it is, from a scalability perspective, fantastic. You start with your small cluster, and you just add nodes, and the sky's the limit. So you can really start in the terabyte space, and you scale up petabytes and even beyond. No problem at all. So, and there's another thought. So, in the interest of time, let me quickly highlight this. There's another point, because of all the diplomatic way would be to say geopolitical uncertainties, but there's absolutely no reason why we, as proud Europeans, shouldn't unite, bring object storage as a technology stack in our data centers, and really serve our customers locally, because that's what they want. They don't want to go to an anonymous big corporation. They want to speak to you, or to you, because they know you and they trust you, and that is very important. However, what I also hear, be careful, don't get trapped. Yeah. So what I hear, so hey, here's a new idea, object storage, it's fantastic. No, thank you. I've got no time. I'm too busy. And yes, I understand. Your IT staff is very busy. Your IT admins are completely overloaded with work. But don't miss the chance to sell the best of both worlds, legacy and the new technology, to your customers, because you need to find the right priorities. So just filling your IT stuff up with the day-to-day business, I know it's essential, it's important, it has to be done, but you need also to find the way or the time windows for innovation. Because without innovation, your competitors will overrun you or bypass you fairly quickly. So at the end of the day, if you're not adding the S3 object storage as a cornerstone of your tech stack, guaranteed your nearest competitor will. And I mean, the big hyperscalers have done that for years already. So if you do this, so what's in it for you? If you actually make it a cornerstone of your tech stack, you can just sell more than storage as a service. And yeah, I still know it's far more sexy to talk about the latest generation of GPU and that stuff. Storage still isn't the sexiest piece in the world of the entire tech stack, but you need it. It's inevitable. And yes, I know it is relatively expensive, and it is relatively complex. But especially our technology partners have done a lot to really simplify it for you and make it relatively easy for you to deploy. What your customers are actually looking for is what we call a data lake. So it doesn't matter how many data, structured and unstructured, they pump into your data lake, which is actually your object storage S3 stack. You can offer them a secure data lake. So what they want to do at the end of the day, run their first AI, ML workflows, even consider selling it as a service because you have the expertise, your customers might not have it. Think about analytics. Think about other workloads like, still, the hot topic, backup, security. Think about, let's say, a backup strategy which even allows you to replicate the data across multiple regions or sites. You can all do that with object storage because the native S3 API we are offering is the de facto standard of anything that is cloud. S3 is the language of the cloud. So in other words, you can offer them any services, any products where they can seamlessly connect to any cloud services, any applications that speak S3. There's absolutely no limit that would stop you from doing more or less the same like the big bookstore or the other hyperscalers. It doesn't really matter. And yes, I can already hear the question, does that solution provide multi-tenancy? Yes, it does, and a lot of other features that you as service providers actually want and need. So, to finish it up, before Jeff is kind of chasing me here on stage because I'm running out of time, what you can actually do is, as I said, give your customer the ability to do what they can't do today, but would, if they only knew how. And you are the guys who can tell them how to do it. My kind of call to action for you is don't leave the money on the street or with the hyperscalers. You can put a complete S3 stack to your own data center and sell more than just storage infrastructure. You have a tech stack that is AI ready, and that will make your customers happy. So the marketeers would now say, from edge to cloud to archive, and all made in Germany. If you want to see more or learn more, we brought a rack where you can see everything. Come and see us and our partners at our booth H01. This is the big one you run into when you enter the venue. Thank you very much, and looking forward to more conversations and questions.